One is, does the president have any evidence to back up his suggestions that Joe Biden is a pedophile or taking drugs?
I'd have to refer you to the campaign. I'm not here to talk about Joe Biden.
Let's kick off here with what might be the weirdest and creepiest thing Joe Biden has ever stood up and said before a crowd. That's a pretty high bar, I grant you, but just have a listen to what the president said when he recognized an old friend in the crowd.
You gotta say hi to me. We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway. This woman helped me get an awful lot done. Anyway.
I'm sorry, what? Let's hear that again, just to be sure we all got that right.
Guess what? We got a lot to do. You gotta say hi to me. We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway. This woman helped me get an awful lot done. Anyway.
She was 12, I was 30. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I'm not sure what the worst thing about that whole episode was. I mean, was it Joe Biden making a gag that would make most people think pedo?
How old are you, honey? You're 11 years old. Talk to me before we leave, okay?
What the? Pedo? Pedo?
And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again.
Pedo?
So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
If that's not child molestation, it is definitely close enough to justify a police visit.
Pedo?
Talk about the kids that you molested on C-SPAN. You molested. You did it, and you know it. You know you did it. Hey, media, you don't have the clips. Nobody knows that he molests children. Nobody knows. I got you, bud. I'm walking. Nobody knows, Joe. Deny it. Go ahead, deny it, bro. Deny it. Millions of people know about it. I guess nobody here knows about it, right? Molesting children. That's cool. I just wanted to use my pocket. I'm going.
I tell you what, honey, what I'm going to do, if you give me an address, I'm going to write you a longer answer and tell you the exact things I would do, okay? Okay? Promise? I'll bet you're as bright as you're good looking. I tell you what. Everybody knows I like kids better than people.
I saw a picture of you with your grandson recently.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Pedo?
So here, once again, are the words from Ashley Biden's diary. Quote, I have always been boy crazy, she wrote, hypersexualized at a young age. I remember somewhat being sexualized with a family member. I remember having sex with friends at a young age. Showers with my dad, probably not appropriate.
Pedo?
So Ashley Biden wrote this in the context of her struggle with sexual compulsiveness in later life. And she attributes those compulsions to the fact that her father took showers with her in a way that was, quote, not appropriate.
Pedo?
Now, if you are the father of daughters, ask yourself, is there any explanation for that behavior that is justifiable?
Pedo?
It's sick and it's horrifying. Now, Ashley Biden doesn't say how old she was at the time she showered with her father, but obviously she was old enough to remember doing it. Inappropriate showering with your own daughter?
Pedo?
But this is very interesting. Joe Biden actually got more votes than any other candidate in history. Wow. Yeah.
Folks, we got a lot of work to do. I don't only need you to get me elected, I need you once I'm elected.
This whole sexual behavior by Biden, that's one thing. The corruption is already proven. I mean, it's proven about 5 different ways, including with a money laundering transaction that is a smoking gun. I mean, Biden and the Biden family took millions and millions of dollars to sell Joe Biden's office. They've been doing it for 20 to 30 years. It's a travesty. And it's disgusting that the press covers it up. Everybody thought he was just good old Joe. First of all, he was always a dope. He's a major dope. Number two, he's a crook for years. And it's proven. Just give me a half hour. I can prove it to anybody who's not a sick Democrat.
The far left is the group that's dragging down the president's poll numbers. And the far left has dragged the Democrat Party to be unrecognizable of what they used to be. I mean, Biden's poll numbers are in the historically low 30s. But somehow the White House thinks Biden can't alienate the far left because they bring out the vote. Millennials are ditching Biden in the polls. Just 21% approval in Quinnipiac. Just 26% for Hispanics. I mean, their extreme positions, worsening inflation, going after U.S. energy, opening the border, taxes, crime. This is what's destroying the Democrat Party today. Your final word.
I'll say it again. Worst administration ever, worst president ever, worst majority in Congress ever. We are destroying the social fabric of this nation, and we better get on track real fast or we're going to lose our country.
Not the least someone with his, shall we say, penchant for sniffing the hair of young girls, and whose own daughter is believed to have written a diary said to belong to her in which she talks about taking, quote, not appropriate showers with her father.
But he surely has to be investigated. You got the woman's allegation. You got 4 separate witnesses who corroborate aspects of it. And then you have prior conduct. And when we saw that conduct, we all said, what the heck is this about? Who does this? What man smells little girls' hair?
Oh, I mean, this is the guy who in 2019 had to issue a blanket apology to all the girls he'd sniffed before for his inappropriate physical contact and lack of respect for their space. An apology that was, by the way, quickly put on the record and then memory holed by the media, which was, of course, much more concerned with Donald Trump and his treatment of women. But Joe, nada. In the great tradition of Democrats dating back to Ted Kennedy and beyond, he got a pass. And of course, this is the same Joe Biden who back in 2014 was accused of swimming naked in front of female Secret Service agents, comprehensively grossing them out. I mean, I know Secret Service agents put their bodies on the line in the course of their duties, but surely seeing a naked, wrinkly Joe Biden's bits flapping in the breeze as he sails off the diving board goes well above and beyond the call.
Oh.
Now you can, of course, only imagine the reaction by the press if a Republican, particularly one named Trump, had made what could have easily been interpreted as a scandalously poor taste joke implying that he was a pedophile or had to apologize for being too handsy with women or had gotten his kid off in front of women in his protective detail, to say nothing of if he had had a daughter who made such revelations in her diaries, which, as with the contents of the Hunter Biden laptop, everyone seems to have agreed to agree are perfectly genuine, but simply not to be discussed in polite company. Of course, this is not the only weird thing the president did this week. Have a look at him here, wandering off, dazed and confused, like a nursing home resident looking for the dessert cart after giving a speech to an outfit called the Global Fund in New York.
Mr. President, thank you. At the end of such a momentous event, the word thank you seems kind of inadequate. But for all the millions whose lives will be saved, for the communities where life will be transformed, thank you. So thank you, President Biden.
Can you imagine being the cameraman there? He won't stand still!
Duty on. He won't stand still.